welcome back to my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, we are on day 6 of Miss Universe 2021. So please make sure you stick around. Please subscribe to the channel as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant fix. Guys, we are now on day 6 of this special coverage of Miss Universe 2021, and day 6 has been very busy because if you have been following them on social media, then you would know that day 6 was the day that they transferred to Eilat. So I'll talk more about that later on. Now, this coverage, of course, wouldn't be possible without the 2 vloggers who have been so generous in sharing their materials with us. I'm not so sure if they will follow the ladies to Eilat. I hope they do. But yes, huge shout out of course to the Thai team who has been giving us a lot of updates. Thai Sashes, thank you so much. And we also have a Filipino there. He has been sharing a lot of photos and video clips with us, and he's the one with Talk About Pageants. So please go ahead and follow these pages. Now, the ladies had a very early start for day 6 because yes, like what I mentioned, this is the day that they were that they would have this trip to transfer and travel to Eilat. Now, we saw them early at breakfast. We saw a lot of Beya, Luigi, and that OOTD. Let's talk more about that later on. But yes, the ladies were gathered. They had to, of course, gather their things and were photographed with the buses behind them. So it seems that, you know, this is a well-oiled machine. It seems that this is really very organized. Now, like what I mentioned, Beya had a live sesh with Miss Singapore the previous day, and they mentioned that travel would be around 3 to 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But the ladies did not seem to have any rest, as they had to do a lot of other sightseeings and other video footages for Miss Universe for the final show. So they were split into 4 groups. Now, one group, I think these are mostly comprised of the European contestants. They were they visited the Red Sea, so we saw a lot of photos of them in swimwear. So they tried, you know, swimming at the Red Sea. They tried all that mud thing, all that beautiful mud thing that makes your skin glow. So there was also another group. They were at the Karmay Avat farm, and well, it's a farm setup, of course, with farm animals, so we also got to see the ladies interact with the horses. And then there was another group who went to the desert, particularly to the Tema Park Negev Desert, and they had a lot of photo ops there. They even did some yoga sesh. And of course, the landscape is really dramatic. So, you know, we had a lot of contestants really take beautiful photos and beautiful video footage of the area. And our very own Beya Luigi was part of the 4th group who visited the Bedouin camp. So they did the whole experience, preparing food, dancing with the locals, as well as donning their costume or traditional wear. So I suppose some of the Filipinos are already in Eilat, but we got to also see more of a glimpse of the construction of the bespoke arena. So there were more materials on the construction. I'm going to show them to you. So I think everything is moving like clockwork for them. And then in the evening, the ladies dressed up, and I guess this is the first time for the ladies to really get to see each other because they had to attend the Miss Universe orientation. So we also got to hear a little bit from Miss France. I think there is still a possibility of her joining the competition. So if she gets out of her quarantine situation right before the prelims, I think there is still a possibility that she can go for it. And as for Miss USA, yes, we already have a sighting of her. She chose her sash, she chose her swimwear, and, you know, by the looks of it, I think she's, you know, ready to really fight in this competition. She looks really very pretty, and, you know, with the good relationship between Israel and the USA, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another American winner at Miss Universe. I'm just saying. But, you know, we saw very little of her. I hope that in the coming days I'll see more. So, because the ladies had a lot of photo opportunities at the places that they visited, I'm gonna give you some of my standouts. Well, of course, we have the regulars, but this time, my #1 spot, I'm gonna give this to Miss Argentina. Now, I know that her features are a little strong, but I love the photos that Argentina took or posted, or I don't know if these were professionally photographed images of her, or if these are just, the images that her friends took. But she looked really, really pretty. She looked like she belonged in the space that she occupied. I love the feels. It was very Hollywood. I love the autumn desert, makeup, very brown, very earthy. I thought that the porcelain skin really catered to, my 1930s romance travel fantasy. So I thought she looked the part if she was playing the part. Number two, standout for me is Miss Colombia. She looked really fresh. She was one of the ladies who also visited the desert, and I think she takes great social media content. So it's well curated, she gets to really feature the culture, and, she does a really good job at featuring the area or the place. So I guess that's plus points for tourism. I also would like to reserve a slot for my standouts. This time for Miss Mexico. She is playful, really very pretty, and I love the vibe that she brought to that desert trip. She had cat eye glasses, or sunglasses, and I thought that it looked really vintage, and it appealed to me because there is a part of Mexican cinema, guys, that was called their golden age, and it was around the 1950s, the 1960s. So, these images of pale Mexican ladies with dark black hair with, cat eyes, these are all very appealing images to me. And I thought I saw that with Miss Mexico this time around. Miss Paraguay also was, of course, a standout. The camera loves her. People ask for her, and, her photos are just really everywhere. She was the one with Miss Puerto Rico as well. They visited the farm, and you could really see that, her wardrobe was well thought out. She was photographed against, like, a wall of flowers, and I don't know, there's just something luminous about that face. It's really marketable. Next standout for me is Miss Puerto Rico. I think she had more time because she was in simpler clothes and more traditional clothes. I think she doesn't really have to do this Latina thing going on where everything is just so loud. So I like that she stripped back, and I love her photos with the horses. I thought that it was just really very, I don't know, Ralph Lauren. I think about horses, I think about Ralph Lauren. Of course, we have Spain. My gosh, this one is unstoppable. She was photographed wearing a black swimsuit with her Red Sea visit. So even with just minimal makeup, even with just goofing around, I mean, you cannot miss Spain. And later in the evening, she changed into this evening wear, cocktail wear, I think, for dinner and orientation. And, she looks like Miss Universe, guys. So I don't know. I really have a feeling about Spain, but I'm a bit of a coward in calling out these things because sometimes they don't go as planned, but I really have a good feeling with Spain, so yeah. And of course, we have the luminous Miss Brazil. I don't know, she does have this, virtual, invisible ring light thing going on. She's so luminous. I think she has like highlighter under her skin, under her tinted moisturizer. Whatever it is she's wearing, she's really glowing from within and, glowing from all that beautiful Israel light. And I want to see more of these ladies. I got to see glimpses of them during day 5. Oh, sorry, day 6. But yeah, I want to see more of Czech Republic. She was with Miss Spain, and of course people noticed her. So yeah, really very pretty. I also want to see more of Miss Costa Rica. There were photos of her in a yellow dress. I thought she looked really pretty. That beauty reminds me of Laura Barjum of Colombia. And I'm also quite intrigued with Miss Denmark this time. She has that very youthful vibe. She reminds me of someone who would compete at Miss USA or even Miss Teen USA. And of course, the I want to see more list, I'm gonna reserve that to Miss USA. We saw glimpses of her. Beautiful face, beautiful body, the beautiful hair. So I think that because she's one of the last ladies to arrive, or the last one to really arrive, then I think that she is in a momentum to really show what she has got. And now we move on to our very own Beya Luigi Gomez. Well, first of all, kudos to her. For the first time since arriving in Israel, we have our very first IG feed worthy post. She was able to post a series of photos from her Bedouin camp visit, and then later on she posted her OOTD for day 6. Now this OOTD, let me just state this one briefly. Of course, you love her, you will support her, you will also ask for support and, you know, just positivity all around. But because not all of us are on the same page, yes, unfortunately, that OOTD needed improvement. So I guess by now we know where they got these pieces from. I think also by now we have established that, you know, just to manage your expectations, that we will be seeing more pulled items for Beya. But yes, I wish that they would just streamline the styling, because yeah, there's really nothing wrong again in recycling. But I also noticed that they have been recycling items mostly from Karen Ibasco only. So I hope that they would just expand the portfolio, or expand the pieces that they would you know, pull these things from. But again, maybe unfortunately we can't do anything about that because she already has a set wardrobe. And yeah, wardrobe doesn't really mean a lot at Miss Universe. So it's not, yeah, it's not part of the scoring system. So I absolutely get your arguments. But if this is the direction of the styling that we will be seeing from Beya, then I guess we also have to be very honest with the fact that that's gonna really bring down the interest level of the pageant fans. But you know what, guys? This styling thing is hot and cold. When she strikes it hot, she strikes it hot. But if it's cold, it's really cold. But for the OOTD, the shorts ensemble with the boots and, you know, the fluffy, flouncy top, if it works for her because it's comfortable, well and good. But if this is something that they have to improve on and tweak now that the official competition has begun, I think, yeah, now should be the time to really make those major changes. Now, moving into that Bedouin camp visit, I thought that this was the nicest that she really looked. And it's unfortunate because the clothes that she was wearing, or yeah, the tunic that she was wearing wasn't even her own, I think. So it's, yeah, a little sad that clothes from other folks would look better on her than her actual wardrobe. But I am not losing hope. I got a glimpse of her wardrobe. I think there was a TikTok video. I don't know if I can have this one extracted, but there's a TikTok video documenting her whole wardrobe, and there seems to be really promising pieces, but there are also pieces that I immediately recognize. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But more than that, I hope that we will get to see more Beya interact, because just in one day she was able to post 2 photos of her, or I mean 2 you know, 2 posts on her Instagram feed. So that's a huge improvement for us pageant fans. So yeah, I will see you again tomorrow for day 7. And very early on, I'm not seeing Beya yet, but I am already seeing a lot of activities from the ladies. But let's talk about day 7 tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye.